If you want to destroy my sweater, like this video, put your comments below. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Spin Club. My name is David Stewart. I am the host of this online virtual album listening club. This week we are talking about Weezer's Blue album, otherwise known as Weezer. It is a self-titled record from 1994. Fun fact, I was also born in 1994, so both of us turned 30 this year. How fun is that? This week I had John Holmes come on the show and talk about the record. John Holmes is a Cincinnati comedian just like me, and he runs one of the best open mics in the city. He performs all around. He's super great. Check him out if you can. His Instagram will be in the description below. This was super fun to talk about. This album rocks. It's great top to bottom, super fun. It's definitely easy to roast still, which is part of the fun. So that's great. And, let's just get into the episode, shall we? There's no reason to keep these intros that long. So why don't we go ahead and spin that record intro? And like always, welcome to the club.
My name is Jonas. So hey, 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 hey. I want a girl who when the world has turned and left me here. We are not just a buddy. You take your car to work, I'll take my boy. Say it ain't so. In the garage, I feel safe. Only in dreams.
All right, John Holmes, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Full Spin Club, man. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, this is great. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So the email said that you need to come up with a one-word
Yes.
descriptor of Weezer's Blue album.
Yes.
So do you have that sentence for us?
I do. I think it is quintessential,
Ooh, all right.
which
Go ahead.
it just means like a must listen.
Oh, okay. Just
Yeah.
for like not even for music nerds, just for everyone.
Everyone, I think, needs to have at least heard. I think everyone's heard a bit of this album,
Right.
a couple songs off it, because it has their most
They're everywhere.
hits.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Curly had that many hits, but
Hurley did not have that many hits. They had that one song they did, like the music video with the Jackass crew.
yeah.
And that's the only song I know from it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all their hits are on this song, so it's like,
Yeah.
on this album, excuse me.
Well, I also think that like the meme of the Buddy Holly riff
Oh, yeah.
absolutely like put this album right back in the zeitgeist.
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, you know why about that, this is how quintessential this album is because in 1995, year after they released this in 94, David Geffen, who owned the album, the record company, DGC, David Geffen Company.
Yep.
Releases. He put this on Windows 95 as just like saying like, here's something you can watch on a computer.
That rocks.
But he put the Buddy Holly music video on that. Pre-installed on Windows 95. So like once you downloaded Windows 95, you could watch this music video.
That rules because like that reminds me of like when U2 put their album on everybody's iPhone. I would much rather have Buddy Holly on my computer than whatever the fuck that U2 record was.
Yeah. That ended poorly, but like my wife even remembers getting Windows 95 and watching that video.
That rocks.
I mean, I did a little research, and it said that none of the Weezer band members even owned a computer at that time in 1995, which sounds like so wild to say nowadays. Yeah. It's like, I don't own a computer. It's like, you don't have a phone?
Yeah, there are 3 in this room right now. There's one in my lap, the one right there, the one that is recording this whole thing.
Yeah. But so they didn't. So at first, so he did that without even telling them.
Yeah.
because he figured out what
They'll
are
be
they gonna,
fine.
they'll find out in 3 years or whatever, and then yeah, and then like at first they were like, when they heard about it, they were like, no way, that's terrible, don't do that.
Yeah.
And but then looking back, it's like it's like having YouTube and then just one video, and it's Weezer's video. So it's like, yeah, that sounds like a great marketing strategy.
That's funny, man. Yeah, that's got to be way better than that YouTube video. Oh my God.
Yeah, I would way more appreciate that.
Oh man. Well, once again, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
And for those that are unaware, there are 4 segments to this show. The first segment is On a Pedestal, which is where we're going to talk about all the things we loved about the record, or at least 3 things each. The next one's On a Spit, which is where we were challenged to come up with roasts for this record. The third section is On a Turntable, which is where I've sent questions to John already that we can discuss and kind of like dive into the album a little deeper. And then the fourth section is Record Scratch, which is where I come up with mini games or funny questions that I thought of while I was listening to the record.
Heck yeah.
So you feeling ready, John?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
right,
dive
man.
in.
What's your first pedestal for this record?
I mean, this is gonna sound obvious, but say it ain't so.
Oh, okay. That's my first 2. So we
Yeah.
can just knock this out right now.
Yeah, we'll do it, dude. Dude, say it ain't so is one of my go-to karaoke songs.
Oh, that rocks. Yeah, I've been trying
that'll get the crowd moving.
Yeah, I've been trying to rock a list in my head of like what I would do for karaoke, and I keep landing on "Lips of an Angel" by Hinder.
It's not gonna get the crowd rolling, dog.
It's not. It's gonna be sad or funny.
Yeah.
I seem to operate on that spectrum alone. But yeah, man, Say It Ain't So is like the quintessential garage rock band or garage rock song.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't think anyone could have come up with a better, like, I'm a teenager and we're gonna play this song in my garage and it's gonna fucking rule. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about that song. That song rules.
I mean, it's so good. It's like you said, I think like the message of it of just I don't know, just trying to be somebody.
Yeah.
And reliving your memories and going back through, because he said he has that line like this bottle of Stevens, because he Rivers Cuomo no relation to Andrew.
Yeah. We
should make that clear.
I almost wrote a roast about that. I was this close.
He thought his parents his mom's first divorce ended because because his dad was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And then one time when he was like 14 or something, he came home and he saw a beer in the fridge, and he thought his mom's second marriage to his stepfather was gonna so that's where those lines come.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, man, I think like realistically you could argue that like everything about Weezer is just trying to be someone.
Yeah.
Like, cuz like they were all just pretty like normal dudes.
Yeah.
And just trying to become something else.
Yeah, I agree with that tremendously. I'll talk about that when we do the spit roast.
All right. Oh yeah.
On the spit, excuse me. I'm horny.
When
I'm
we
sorry.
do the spit roast. When I bring the ladies in.
Yeah, when then we bring the ladies and then we do a spit roast,
Maybe that'll bump up my views on YouTube finally.
Oh, for sure.
Oh man. So we talked about my first one in
Yes.
because we just agreed it's the obvious
it's the
choice.
best song on the album.
It is, absolutely. So my second one is the opening guitar solo on Holiday.
Holiday.
I think that solo rules, and I would also argue that every guitar solo on this album
It does.
absolutely rips. I don't know if those were all Rivers or if they were Brian Bell, but like
Did you know
or
that
the first guitarist
the
that they fired for having a girlfriend.
Well, he got his girlfriend pregnant and was freaking out.
Sure.
And like during the sessions, that like he would be like, reportedly he would be like simply like going like, I'm fine, and then like 20 minutes later he'd be up on the roof screaming. So it's like they couldn't they couldn't make the album with him being so frantic. So they fired him. The only thing, I think his name was Jason Cropper, something like that. The only thing that he actually is credited with on the album is the opening guitar riff to to
Is it My Name Is Jonas?
My Name Is Jonas.
Yeah.
That's the only one he's credited for. And then they fired him, and then Rivers just went in and redid all the solos himself.
Oh wow, damn Rivers, like respect.
I know,
Cause
right?
I don't know, Rivers is such an interesting guy because like over the years, I've sort of lost respect for Rivers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I made a joke during the Taylor Swift episode. Check that out if you're here. During the Taylor Swift episode where we were commenting on how she's re-recording her masters as sort of like a fuck you to Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
And my question to Greg is like, who would you want to re-record their masters? And my answer was Weezer, so that I could finally quit them. Because like if they re-recorded their masters, they'd take big creative liberties. I think they wouldn't. They wouldn't
nowadays.
Nowadays they make big creative liberties and just ruin all their catalog for me. And I'm like, now I can finally quit you.
Yeah, it would be it's definitely. What's like a George Lucas type of situation where if they went back and tried to re-record the Blue album, it would be like gongs and
they'd be it'd
like
be the Jar Jar Binks.
Worse than Brian Wilson when he was laying in bed or on acid all the time and he's just trying to compose a simple melody.
But yeah, like man. Damn it, Rivers, you peaked so early.
Oh, my God. They peaked with this album, I think.
I liked Pinkerton.
Pinkerton's good. I like Pinkerton as well, but there are some things about Pinkerton that
Rivers got into his weeb phase.
Yeah.
Started having really odd views on women.
Yes. We will talk about that also on the Spit Roast when we spit roast women.
Yes. Did you have a second one?
Oh, yeah. The second one, hey, man, life's so rad.
I mentioned that later. Undone.
Yeah, Undone. Yeah. I'm just going, man, life's so rad. I'm like, you have no clue how often I quote that.
See, I do too, but it's I'm the nonplussed character just going, going like he's like
just the background.
Yeah.
Life's so rad.
That's me. He's like, hey man, isn't life so rad? He's like, yeah. And whenever someone's talking to me, like specifically like an open mic or anything, I'm just like, yeah. Oh yeah, you should sign up next week.
Yeah.
Because you and I have that in common. We run open mics in town, and the new people that come up to you and are just so excited.
They're
to talk.
so excited, and you got to explain to them that you've been doing this for like over 8 years. Well, for you, I think it's a little bit over that, right?
Yeah, I think I started 10 years ago.
Yeah. If you're 10 plus, you don't give a fuck what a new comic thinks.
Nope. And I especially when they like run a new bit by you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But their new bits are just like something every single open mic comic has ever said in their entire life, and you just hate to break it to them. Like one guy one time told me, he's like, man, I got this bit about like when a joke doesn't land, and I'm like, you and everyone else.
Or when they're like, I have a joke about how sex is like sin. I'm like, oh god.
Oh boy.
Or I've heard that millions of times. I've heard that. I've also heard quite a lot of. I've heard one that's not only from starting comics, but like from veteran comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just this point about how it's a male joke.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always a male who says, I don't see why I have to wash my hands after I piss because my dick isn't dirty.
Yeah.
It's just like my dick's not dirty. I cleaned it. Why should I have to wash my hands? It's like because you have piss on them, dude.
Dude, because it's a dick.
It's because you just flushed a toilet.
Yeah. Like
wash your fucking hands.
Yeah, dude. And also, it's just stuffed in the same boxers with your gnarly balls. So don't tell me that this is clean.
Unless you washed them 5 minutes before you took a piss.
Yeah, which...
Why wouldn't you just pee in the shower then?
There you go. See? Just poking holes in these fucking hacky bits, dude. These hacky bits.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I think one of these days at one of our mics, the two of us should just just absolutely rip apart people's bits while
Oh
they're
my
on
god,
stage.
I've wanted to do that for so many years.
Just like the Muppets, like Stetson and
Walder and
Waldorf and
Statler.
Yeah, Statler and Waldorf. He just sit there and be like,
Yeah.
another cum joke. I'm like, no, fuck you. Get off the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. My third one, it's Undone. Yep. If they were making a song about the concept of futility, which I think they were, like a little bit with Undone.
Yeah.
I think they nailed it with like that main guitar riff that kind of circles, like just goes in circles the whole time, like the like if there is ever like a guitar riff that articulates that sort of meandering aimlessness, that's it. Like that's the one that I think of, like, and it's not necessarily sad, it's not necessarily happy,
it's just like you're just in the in between time.
Yeah, you're in the in between. It's like the futility of it, like just going around and around in circles, and I think that fits the theme of like just kind of like, because like facing utility is just like just take all my shit, like I'll lie on the floor, I've come undone, So I think Rivers, again, likely in this case, really nailed it with like finding the perfect guitar riff to match like the meaning of the song he was writing. So I think that was rad.
Yeah, what I like about, because they'll just ad-lib on that song live when they play it live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't say life is rad all the time. They'll just kind of ad-lib, like, oh, hey, man, what's going on? Nothing much, just playing a show right now.
Oh, okay.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I like that, because I actually saw them play. Have you ever seen Weezer live?
I haven't seen Weezer live.
Okay.
For a long time, they like during the age in which I would have like liked to go see them, they were only playing in California or Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a weird time in Rivers where he's like, these are the only two places I want to play.
I must have dropped. Dude, I dropped out after Green Album, so.
Sure. Yeah, this was like, they were doing like the Honda tour, and it was like,
Honda tour.
Yeah, I know. They were like the Honda Odyssey tour or some shit like that. And like, it was like, you had the option of seeing like either Blink-182 with My Chemical Romance or Weezer or Fall Out Boy or something like that. That was like the top line. It was like, which was like my 7th grade boner.
Oh my god!
Like that's like absolutely my bands. And I forget, like Weezer was only on like the West Coast dates, and so like we got someone else, which is like, again, I mean, like those shows rock.
Yeah, that sounds like a great lineup.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So for my third praise, I guess, man, I don't know. This album is so good for so many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly that it defined it. I mean, not created, because there was shoegaze and there was other stuff in the 80s and stuff that was like kind of like a combination of nerd rock.
Right.
And I mean, I think Buddy Holly is that. There was a comic I've seen, I think, I want to say Grant Lyon. I can't remember. No, I worked with him years ago. But he had a joke. It's a headliner. He had a joke about how Buddy Holly just broke that nerd barrier.
Right.
By saying, I don't care about that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I look like Buddy Holly, you look like Mary Tyler Moore,
Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's fair. I've never thought of it that way, because like I think Buddy Holly is the most like easy song to make fun of.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely.
Because it is like, it's just super like doo-woppy and
Ooh,
yeah. But yeah, I think that is a good point, and also like they brought nerdum.
Yeah.
Up.
No.
Like
it
was like okay to be nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and rock out. Which is like, it's like now we have Arctic Monkeys, and that's good.
Yeah, now we have Arctic Monkeys. Now I think in my head I was like, this feels like a direct pipeline to like Panic at the Disco.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah,
dog.
like at least early Panic at the Disco. I don't know
Yeah.
what Brendan Urie's up to now, but it's not whatever was cool about them.
No.
But yeah, so I have that as a turntable question as well, of like that sort of like the.
No, I think it rocks that, because it is the culmination of like a lot of nerd shit, and you listen to this album, and I mean, like, even in the garage, he's talking about just like being a nerd in his
Yeah.
in his garage as a kid, and the stuff that he goes through as he grows up.
Yeah.
And then, but that's a safe space.
Yeah, I think it's great that like the record label gave them their
Yeah.
shot, because like they got noticed by like a demo tape.
Yeah,
And they had
kitchen
no
tapes.
following.
Yeah,
They had no fans. They had nothing.
yeah.
And they're like, yeah, these guys seem cool. And like that's like why they got, before like the term existed, they got accused of being an industry plant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, who are you?
No, they
And, like,
released the kitchen tapes in 1992, which is like an EP.
Yeah.
I think that was their budget. Like they didn't get
Yeah.
anything for it.
And then the guy from Geffen is like, all right, we'll give these dudes a shot.
Yeah, we'll give them a shot. And then they got Rick Ocasek. That's another praise. I don't. Oh, can I
Yeah, you
do more than 3 praises?
We'll do 3.5.
Okay,
I'll allow
is
it.
that dude? Rick Ocasek is the producer of this album.
Yeah.
From the Cars, dog.
Mm-hmm.
The Cars were, dude. That the first album by the Cars is their best album.
Oh, okay. So Rick Kasek's good at
at really nailing it on their first album.
yeah, first try, and then watching
yeah.
careers slowly peter out after.
Yeah. He's the best at it.
Yeah, until you're covering Africa by Toto.
Yeah.
Oh man. So up next we have our record scratch section, or not record scratch. Wow, lie on a spit. Where
On a
it's time
spit.
to roast it. And this album, I felt like a medium difficulty to roast for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I've had ones like To Pimp a Butterfly was incredibly difficult to roast. I
Well,
just
yeah,
didn't-
you don't want to be racist.
You don't want to break it. Bad news, gang. I failed. Bad news, gang. They were almost all race related.
Yeah.
And Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator was tough to roast as well.
I don't know that album.
That album rules.
I don't think I've ever really invested in Tyler the Creator, which is sad because he's like so prolific.
He is. He's really prolific. Like his journey's been awesome.
Yeah.
Just like
He started with the Loiter Squad or whatever, right?
Yes, he started with that, and Odd Future was like the collective that he was a part of and started. But his journey through music has been rad. He's like my age, and so watching him kind of like growing up alongside him is like rules.
That's cool.
And to watch him hone in on like what makes him him, and like express that through his albums, immaculate. Love it.
Nice.
But this one was like medium toughness to roast.
Yeah.
Like, they are easy, they are nerdy, and so like it's easy to be like the bully.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about roasting it?
Well, I mean, there's the line in Pinkerton, "God damn it, you half Japanese girls," which I almost wore my Japanese breakfast shirt.
You
But I thought that would be a little bit too on the nose.
Sure.
But then there's a line in Buddy Holly, because those weren't the original lyrics, The "You look just like Mary Tyler Moore."
Oh, okay.
Because he even says, "Your eyes are slit," and I'm like, God damn,
No way,
River
this dude.
just gets off on Asian women.
Oh yeah, his wife's Asian. It's like
Yeah,
what?
I know. She's Japanese.
Yeah,
But he's like,
that's why he was doing shows in Japan.
Yeah, that's like the only This guy's so horny for
He is.
a Japanese pussy.
That I'm sure. Like, all right. Here's a quick aside. How far down on Rivers Cuomo's like internet history until you find tentacle porn?
Oh,
like, what?
I'd say 10.
10. Yeah,
Within the first 10.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
First 10. All right. So your first roast was
It's just
slit.
yeah, he's just so horny for Japanese women, and it's like you know how it feels like. Okay, racism is, a lot of people think racism is like a spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
like you're either racist or you're not racist,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I think it's more cyclical.
Oh,
Where
sure.
if you
Yeah.
go in any kind of too far in any direction, you'll end up back at racism.
I
And
just
I
can't
think-
quit
and-
you.
Yeah. And I think fetishizing an entire nation is a little bit racist.
And we're back.
And we're back.
I love them so much that I hate everyone else.
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
me
yeah.
ultimately racist.
Yeah.
All right, let's see
What
what
was
my
your
first
spit?
one. First one is this one's about Rivers himself. And this is probably my weakest, so I'll probably start with it.
All
It's,
right.
Wait. You mean to tell me the guy named Rivers grew up in a cult? It just struck me, like, 'cause like apparently he did grow up. He was like born
Yeah.
into a cult and left it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you mean the guy named after nature? It's like me and like what Apple? No, you
We
mean-
had to run.
Yeah, we had to run.
I would love to see that that movie be made of just young Rivers Cuomo just living
Escaping his cult.
Like, yeah. I didn't know about that. What type of cult was he in?
I didn't look into it that hard. Yeah.
Like a
It was on a commune of some kind.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
pretty separated, and then he moved to L.A.
yeah. Okay.
Pretty large culture shock.
Yeah.
Probably why he was so nerdy.
Yeah. Yeah. The second one, what I was gonna say was the song "In the Garage."
Mm-hmm.
He has posters on his wall. It's favorite rock group.
His favorite.
Kiss.
Huh.
Did you not hear that?
Yeah, I didn't catch that part.
Okay, yeah. So he talks about starting off in the garage. I love that song "In the Garage," where he just talks about like writing songs and growing up in this little place.
Yeah.
And he talks about in the garage. He has posters on his wall. Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right. I also like the X-Men as a child. I'll let that slide. But then he says, "I got posters on my wall. My favorite rock group, Kiss. I got Ace Frehley. I got Peter Criss."
Bummer, man.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's a bummer to have your.
Yeah, Rivers Cuomo's favorite band be Kiss, and I'm like, oh, can we just not promote them anymore? Can Gene Simmons go away?
Yeah, I don't understand the genesis of Kiss. Like, what was the?
There were like outer space rock stars come outer space demons.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
Gwar.
Oh,
It's Gwar light.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna do it, you got to be Guar.
Yeah.
Like, you can't whatever the fuck Gene Simmons had going on. He's like,
He had a
"Look at my
long tongue and like
tongue."
blood
Yeah.
that we would spit out.
Oh my gosh. Just do less. Write better music.
Yeah, I know,
you know what I'm
right?
saying? Like, you don't have to rely on theatrics if your band is good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why not a lot of people paint their faces anymore.
Yeah. Well, there's juggalos, but
Well,
once again, that's not even an exception to the rule. If your music were good, you wouldn't have to do this. You're doing too much.
yeah.
All right, my second roast here is Surf Wax America makes me want to pinch their cheeks and say, "Aw, who's my Whittle Beach Boy?"
Surf Wax America, yeah, dog. That is such a. That song is so California, bro.
Right.
That it's it's amazed that got on the album because it's of like how local and like it feels. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be like us like starting a band and then one of our debut out singles is just called Skyline Chili.
Yeah, it's Cincinnati chili. I like Getta on my chili.
Yeah. And people are just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know?
What the hell are they talking about? Is that spaghetti? Yeah, man. That song was just like a very like so back the Beatles used to like have writing exercises like what if the Beatles wrote a like X song.
Yeah.
That was like an exercise they would do together like what if the Beatles covered or wrote this song or wrote like this band. That's exactly what this feels like to me is like what if Weezer wrote a Beach Boys song and in the 90s instead of in the 60s.
I know, right.
So that was Who's My Little Beach Boy?
Aww.
Aw. Did Rivers want to grow up and be Brian Wilson?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. But he didn't do enough drugs.
No. Yeah, I guess my last roast of Weezer is just how far they fell off.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Dude, I went saw this, I think in 2000. I've seen Weezer twice.
Okay.
One time at. Well, Okay, I saw them at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago. It was a secret show, so that, the headliner wasn't announced.
Yeah, that rules.
And then they came out. This was like 2009, 10, 8 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. This was in Chicago, but they only played the Blue Album and Pinkerton
That rips.
front to back.
Yeah, what a show.
Yeah. So then I saw them in 2017 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and they were closing out like a festival, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I've already seen the best.
Yeah, you saw
the
the best
best show that they could have ever put on.
Oh,
So, yeah, I think I'm good. So I just
Yeah.
left halfway through seeing them again.
I think I'll get out of here before parking gets bad.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I already saw the best show they could have ever put on. What do you? What do I need? Do I need to hear Hash Pipe? No, I can hear it on my car on the way home.
Yeah, when I'm not sitting in traffic on the way out of this fucking place. Yeah, they fell off so hard.
Yeah, dude. Do you think that was in? I've talked with other people about this. I think it was because of how harsh the critics were of them after Pinkerton.
Yeah, well, I think
because then they didn't release anything for like 6 years or
Well,
4 or 5 years.
even after this record, they hated Fame so much. Like
Yeah.
Rivers hated Fame immediately.
Yeah,
And I think it could have been on purpose, like a conspiracy, like let's make shitty music, and everyone's like, no, it's great.
yeah.
I think what sticks out to me as one of their worst moments was on Ratitude, which is the one with the dog on the front of it.
Oh, okay.
They decided to make a song with deep Indian influences, and it is
Ooh.
to the point again where we're right back around.
Yeah.
It's we're gonna break out of our mold. Oh, it's incredibly racist. Yeah, but I don't know. I liked the Red Album. I know.
I don't think I got to that one.
That one had the greatest man that ever lived, their version of a rock opera.
Yeah.
That one kind of ruled, but I think I was the perfect age for that to come out.
Yeah. I was let me think. This came out in '94. I was 8. Like I said, my wife, we had in '95. I was aware of them.
Yeah.
Because I knew because Buddy Holly was such a huge hit.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that music video. I didn't have Windows 95, but I did have MTV.
Yeah.
And that was featured heavily in '95.
I bet. Yeah.
Because it won 5 awards at the MTV Music Awards that year.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. It was just everywhere.
Yeah, it was. Because the Fonz is cool.
He was in that, wasn't he? They got Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
That rules. My last roast of this bad boy is if you squint real hard at My Name is Jonas, it looks like a warship song you'd get sung in youth group. It's right there because if you change a few, it's my name is Jonah. He's inside the whale.
My name is Jonah. I'm inside the well. Yeah.
I disobeyed God. And this is how we feel.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. We need to make that.
If you squint real hard, it's right there.
Dude, it's right there. You could have opened up with a Christian music track.
Man, cowards.
Yeah,
You
fucking Rivers.
cowards. Oh man. But we did it.
We roasted the
We
shit
roasted
out of
it.
them.
Up next, we got our On a Turntable section. It's where
Yeah.
where I sent you these questions ahead of time.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this
Yeah.
because this is going to be
The first one.
shit. Oh my
The
God.
first one we talked about a little bit yesterday, but we've both been thinking about this first question
Mhm.
for a minute because it's just what?
Yeah.
That being said, the first question is, Rivers is quoted saying, "I thought we were going to be the next Nirvana after recording this album." Are there moments on this record where you think that delusion actually rings true? Follow up, who else in pop culture has absolutely miscategorized themselves to that degree?
Yeah, that last question I've still been thinking about. I don't think I could have thought of anybody. The best thing I could have thought of was when Childish Gambino said that his album Awaken My Love was not a funk album, and I'm like,
You mean the thing with the bass.
Yeah, and I'm like, you mean this entire album that's all funky and like
Daylight.
Yeah. We're going to California.
Yeah. All right. That's not a funk. Yeah. That's.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
that was pretty bad miscategory, but not as bad as Rivers going like, "Yep, I'm Kurt Cobain."
Yeah, he's like, wow, we are the same.
yeah.
I just wondered how he could have thought that, because like I listened to that, like one of the times I listened to this in preparation for the podcast was solely with that in mind.
Yeah.
Where I was like, all right, is this the song that he was thinking about it? And I guess Say It Ain't So could be argued as like a very like angsty song.
Yeah.
But Rivers
But
doesn't
there's
have any angst in his body, like in his voice at all.
No.
And I think In the Garage was the other one where I was
Yeah.
like, maybe. Like
That's just about him, because it's just about him being like, "Oh, I'm all alone." In the garage, and
which
then
is
I
a very
write my
Nirvana
songs.
thing to feel.
Yeah, but then,
But,
but then in that same song, in the garage, he says, he's like, "I play my stupid songs, and I love everyone." So it's like, no, you're not being angsty.
You know, you
You're
don't hate
just
yourself
like,
enough.
you're just being. This is like the most polished shit I've ever heard. But I did hear that. I did read that Rick Ocasek made him switch from playing on the Fenders to on the boards of the of their.
Oh, so it was cleaner.
Yeah, so it was like, it sounded more poppier. It sounded cleaner. So I was thinking maybe they had versions of songs that sounded more grungy, more.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would have helped, because the lyrics are so like upbeat and shit.
And everything's in a major key.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing in a minor key. There's no like riffs or like guitar licks that go down. Like,
Yeah, I know,
like,
right?
It's all up scales. Like it's all like we're all like it's all building. Nothing
Yeah.
like the only thing that like I think of is like Undone is sort of like the futility of it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I can see how there's like a little bit of angst in Undone, and like just sort of like the flippant nature of the dude in the skit who's like, like
Where everyone's asking him to drive him to the party,
yeah.
and he's just like, "I don't know, man."
He's like, okay. Yeah, like I get that. Like so like I think there were like little pockets, but like not even
No,
close
Not
to what I
even.
would consider like the
No,
next
because-
Nirvana.
Which is crazy, because Kurt Cobain killed himself in '93, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, which meant, because I realized that they recorded this album in August to September
Mm-hmm.
of '93, which I think
Like
is
right after.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like so he's like,
He's like, wow, I'm gonna carry this torch.
yeah,
And then writes
of
Buddy
the
Holly.
most like heartbreak, angsty
Yeah.
fucking musician that's ever lived, and just he's like, "I got you, Kurt," and then I'm waxing down so I can go real fast.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off. You were. He is the epitome of the nerd culture, and I actually can't understand it a little bit, because in the liner notes of Bleach,
Mm-hmm.
Kurt writes like, "This is not for this album isn't for like, jocks, pretty
Okay.
girls, and
Yeah.
like homophobes, and nobody, if you like that, you won't like this."
Yeah.
And it's like he was kind of doing that, but it's for nerds instead.
Yeah, I understand feeling like an outcast.
Yeah.
I get that. Like, so, like, maybe he's like, I'm making an outcast, album for the people who are not generally accepted.
Yeah, maybe if that was his intention, then I would say that's a little closer to what Nirvana was trying to do. But it's you went in a you like came to a fork in the road, and then you went way left.
Right. They had the opportunity to dig deeper and then
Yeah.
chose not to. Because, like,
Well-
growing up in a cult, right, like that, because, like, I actually end up gravitating towards bands that, like, where, like, the leader has left religion, has left,
yeah.
like, and, like, felt like I've lost this thing that I grew up with because I didn't like it
Yeah.
anymore. I gravitate towards those groups all the time. Even subconsciously. I'll find out after the fact.
Like
I'm
pop punk, or is that?
yeah,
like
a lot
shit
of pop
like that?
punk.
Yeah.
Most recently, it's Why Would I Watch by Hot Mulligan.
I don't know them.
Yeah, they are a new like sort of like up and coming pop punk band.
Okay.
They're really great. Their last record is like a lot about like religious trauma. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And so like I always end up gravitating towards these bands because I'm like I guess somewhere deep down I sympathize.
Yeah.
I didn't get that with Weezer.
No,
You know, like I didn't
no.
get that at all. And so I think they had the opportunity to be like really dive into that stuff and just actively chose not to.
Yeah, I think that. I think also on Pinkerton he got a lot more personal.
Yes.
Because like he has this line in the Blue album where he says, "I just made love to your sweet memory," which means he jerked off.
Oh yeah.
And then on Pinkerton, the one that's a cringe enough line,
Yeah.
right? Like, I just made love to your sweet memory.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, dude, you're jerking off to an ex. I
Cool,
get it. We've
cool,
all
we
been
get it.
there.
We've all been sad.
We've all been there.
We get it.
But then on Pinkerton, he has that entire song about this girl that's like underage or 18 or something like that, or like someone way younger than him, but far across the sea. I think it's called Across the Sea.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
Where
that's
he's like, I've got your letter, you've got my song. Like, he's writing this song and he's saying like, I wish I could be with you, but I can't because you're across the sea.
and also
It would be wrong.
and also 16.
That's exactly why he says in that song Across the Sea, I think it's called.
Oh my.
Where he says, I think it would be wrong. And it's like, well, dude, then you need to shut up about it.
I like how I'm like, Rivers, just dig deep, be honest, and then he does, and the next
Yeah.
record I'm like, not like
Not
that.
like that, dog.
Not like that. Never mind. Put it back in the bottle, man.
Yeah.
He's like, Pandora doesn't go back in the box.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm glad he's into Japanese women and not underage chicks anymore.
Anymore.
Yeah.
So I think my answer to the follow-up of like who's like potentially miscategorized themselves, like maybe not to this degree, but I would argue Drake has miscategorized himself and is like living a delusion of being
a
a
hip-hop?
rapper. Yeah, of being hip hop. I think Mos Def put it best recently, or Yassine Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, put it best. He's like, I don't think Drake's ever been hip hop. He's like music I'd shop at a Target to, which is like ruthless. Coming from
well, Mos Def is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the thing
Yassine
is like,
Bey.
and I think what he was like kind of scratching at was that hip hop has a chip on its shoulder, and like that comes from like a real place.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything that Drake has ever done has had a chip on his shoulder other than the hip hop community not embracing him. That's the 90% of the chip on Drake's shoulder is the fact that hip hop won't embrace him. It's because he's like a child of privilege and like doesn't have any more of like of the hard knocks that like the traditional hip hop community does. And like the hip hop community does not respect Drake at all, but he continues to try and be hip hop. It's like he's just pop.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Excuse me, I almost threw up. But
I thought about Drake too.
I thought about Drake and his grooming practices, so I almost threw up. No, but here's the thing about like hip hop is, I know this is on an entirely different topic, but
go for it. I'll let you cook.
Hip hop has become so mainstream now.
It's true.
That like 30 years ago, 1990, you went to a hip hop concert, you knew exactly who you were gonna see.
Yeah.
There would have been like metal detectors, things like you got to get a pat down.
Yeah.
Now you go to like a Vince Staples concert and it's all like 14-year-old white boys.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely Vince Staples' audience.
Yeah. I went to one and then I was like, because I was like, I like his music. I don't know who, I don't know, but I was like, this was like maybe like 5 years ago. I went to one of his shows and I was like, I like his music. It's fun shit. But I don't know who listens to rap anymore because it's become so mainstream that you're not sure.
Like, who's this for?
Who's this for? Besides somebody who just kind of like, I like it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I went there, and then it was like literally all like 14-year-old white boys and stuff. And I'm like, great. I'm going to hang out by the bar this entire show.
Yep. Oh man.
I'm like, I'm not getting into the pit with this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I just think like there's something like
I don't need sexual assault charges. It's like, no, I was just trying to mosh with a kid.
Mosh, come on. So we grab ass.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna get on my case about grab assing in the mosh pit? Oh, come on.
What do you want from me, officer? I'm 35.
I'm 35. Everyone's grabbing ass. My ass got grabbed. All right. I don't see you. You don't see me complaining to you about my ass getting touched. Frankly, it's a compliment. I look like this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's Rivers thinking that he's going to be the next Nirvana. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, not at all.
I have no clue.
Just completely miscategorize yourself. Just losing
Yeah.
your own plot.
Yeah.
Self-awareness at an all-time low.
Yeah. I know, right?
But yeah, man. Well, I don't know. I'm probably gonna keep thinking about that next time I listen to this record.
It's
I'm
wild.
I'm gonna keep thinking about where was this thread because we
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
lost the plot.
Yeah, because nothing about it's and plus it's all L.A. It sounds so clean. It
Yeah.
sounds so. The entire album sounds like pretty cheerful
Mm-hmm.
and not like happy,
Right.
but like upbeat, cheerful kind of poppy
Right.
shit. You know what? Perfect, like Rick Ocasek, like the first Cars album,
Yeah.
dog. Like it's upbeat, it's great, and but there's no angst, there's no dinginess to it.
Yeah.
you know?
There's not because I think the other day like Something in the Way came on when I
Yeah.
was listening to music and I was like, yeah, this is fucking bleak.
Yeah,
And
dude.
there is nothing bleak about
no,
the Blue album at all.
no.
The only thing they have in common is like Nevermind was a similar shade of blue.
Yeah.
Because of the pool. I was like, I think you did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. You ready for the second question?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. So Weezer has been called the godfather of mall emo music, given
Mhm.
their shy vulnerability and general nerdiness. Does that lineage stick out to you on this record? Are there any moments that scream, oh, Fall Out Boy probably heard this and creamed their jeans?
Okay, that's the I don't know too much Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
So this, I let's see. When Fall Out Boy was popular, when it first came out around, what?
Like 2006?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was really heavily into like Kanye West and like Jay-Z. Like I was in a rap phase, so I never really listened to a lot of Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
So
I'll
I'll
carry that half of the question.
Yeah. No, just tell me what Fall Out Boy music is. Is it? Because the only thing I know about Fall Out Boy is that You Will Remember Me for Centuries. That anthem.
Oh,
rock,
that one sucks.
Which
That
sucks.
sucks. That
Yeah. So I'm like I
that's
don't
tough.
really get it.
Their first two albums are my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Of theirs. I have an entire bit about it where I
Oh.
I go on a tangent.
Oh
for a
yeah, I
minute.
remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bit. I know that bit.
But it's really classic pop punk music. But again, it sounds like it's for theater kids. You know, like Panic at the Disco is pop punk for theater kids. And it's like same with this. I would say that like the only thing that I like Fall Out Boy is like you can do that. Like is like is when honestly when Rivers gets weird about girls.
Yeah.
Because like there are so many lines in the first two Fall Out Boy records where like the bassist Pete Wentz was their main lyricist, and like I'm like my guy. Like, maybe this one should have stayed in the composition book.
Yeah.
This one is like he has like some of those lines, and I'm like, oh my god, you're getting weird about girls. Like
Yeah.
or like I just say in general, I think Weezer again made it okay to be nerdy.
Yeah.
And there was like like Patrick Stump is like the lead singer of Fall Out Boy is not your average like ladies man lead singer.
Oh no.
He didn't want to do it. He auditioned to be the drummer.
Oh really?
Yeah, and they're like, you can sing, and so they just kind of put him out there. He's like a Seth Rogen looking motherfucker.
Oh, that's funny.
And then other bands that were just like that took off being nerdy and shy, and they're like, well, I can express myself this way.
Yeah.
And I think.
That's like what I said. Like why I think it's like a quintessential album is that it birthed this whole nerd. It's okay to be a nerd kind of music.
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. And like the only reason I thought of Fall Out Boy is because like they're mall emo to me.
Yeah.
Like they're like same with like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
And like again, it's like all these theatrical, like the people that like that had something nerdy about them that wasn't necessarily music all seem to come to the forefront. Like in the My Chemical Romance example, like Gerard Way was like nerdy about comic books, and he's like, what if I made music that would accompany my comic books? And like that's like ultimately what those albums ended up being. He's like, I'll write the story in a comic book, but like I'll make the music somewhere else. And it's like, I don't know, I think it just made nerd culture being like, why not both? Like,
why? But that's the that I've been building up with like the shoegaze in the 80s and the 90s or the early 80s. Excuse me, I can't fucking think of time right now. Shoegaze music, those also like you had shit like The Cure and other and Morrissey, the Smiths, you know,
also being
all
weird
these
about girls.
just that was like, but it's like this was leading up to this album, which was like it's okay for boys to cry, it's okay for guys to feel things.
Yeah.
And then which you also have to realize at the time when in the 80s this was like hair metal powerhouse.
Yeah.
Like everything was just like, like fuck, like let's get fucked up and fuck women. Let's do whatever we want.
We're banging chicks and slanging drinks. Like, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's all it was. Like Molly Hatchet shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's
White
Cinderella,
Snake.
White Snake, named after his penis.
Oh. God damn it. Sorry, it reminded me of Open Mic Comics again.
It was like so over masculine that and then even grunge was even though it was an attempt to be away from all that and be just getting not polished sounds, not just getting dirty with it. It became mainstream. So then there was no way to like really project yourself unless you tried to do something else, which is why I think they're the epitome of like nerd emo sad boy shit.
Yeah, I think it's a good point you bring up that it was like okay to be sad.
Like
and okay to have feelings, because you're right, it was like hyper masculine 80s music where it's like, we're not feeling shit except it's a party.
Like, I'm not feeling shit but these lips on my dick.
Yeah, and he's like, whatever my dad left, more pussy for me. Like that's all it was.
Yeah, dog.
Meanwhile, Rivers is like, he's like, oh my god, my mom's gonna get divorced again. Talking about trauma, like good for Weezer.
Yeah, dog.
But yeah, man. Yeah. So I think that is correct. Yeah, that they're the godfather of all of the emo music. Because like when I first heard that line, I was like, really, Weezer? Yeah. And then like it wasn't until I really started thinking about it. I'm like, oh shit, I guess they were like the first people to like be vulnerable as like a band of nerdy like. And
with that line, and I don't care about that. That was the big line in that Buddy Holly movie or song is just, I don't care. I look like this, she looks like that. Who cares? Yeah.
That rules. Yeah, that's like something I never heard.
Which freed up a lot of nerds to like enjoy music that they thought wasn't for them.
Be okay with themselves. That rocks. Yeah. That's what we're all trying to do.
Yeah.
It's like we're all just trying to be okay with ourselves.
Yeah. That's true. I'm still working.
Oh, I don't think it's one of those things you finish.
Oh, there's no finish? Oh, well then, man, at one point there will be.
For all of us. All right, ready for this last turntable question?
Yes, please.
So the blue color of the album is incredibly important to Rivers as it was a reference to his childhood favorite color. What moments on this record really feel like the color blue to you?
Oh, definitely the entire song of The World Has Left Me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, wait. Left Me Here. Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so you like blue is like sadness for
Dude,
you.
that's a sad song. It's
Yeah.
like the world has turned and left me here just where I was before you appeared.
Ooh.
It's like he's clearly suffering from loss.
Yeah.
A loss of some kind.
It's interesting. I went a different direction.
Oh, yeah?
Because like the blue on this album is so like it's like pretty bright sky
Yeah,
blue.
yeah.
I think I went with Buddy Holly.
Oh.
Like it's upbeat, nostalgic, and bright.
Yeah.
So like it was like that because like that blue was like a very like sky robin's egg
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
and just kind of like springtime like.
Yeah.
And that's like where I went with it was peppy. So I was like, I think Buddy Holly.
Interesting. I thought blue. Well, like when you the Blue album. I mean, it's so well known now, but it's yeah. When I think of the blue, like favorite color, I mean, I still think of the blues. So I think of sad, more like vulnerable songs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's blue. And then that little the bridge in Say It Ain't So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That bridge rules so much.
That's so
that
good.
song fucking rocks.
Yeah, it does.
I got to put that one back in rotation more.
Yeah, dude.
I might do that at karaoke now. I might just steal that from you.
Okay. Yeah, try it.
It's
Dude, it's fun.
My go-to move.
Can I, before we start the next topic,
Yes.
can we talk about this song off the album?
What song?
The second song, the
Oh,
girlfriend
yeah,
one.
No One Else.
No One Else, yeah.
Yeah.
That is controlling.
No,
I
it's
mean,
so weird.
It's such a weird
It
song.
aged so poorly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want you to laugh for anyone else.
Yeah,
I don't want you to wear makeup when,
Yeah.
when I'm not around.
Yeah.
It's like that makeup's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like super. Like Rivers was an incel before that was a
Yes.
term. Yeah, it was before that was a term. He was an incel. Like,
Well, because I have this joke about how going back to the racism circle thing.
yeah.
I have a joke about how men when you never hear anyone say like why if you fetishize a race of people and you never hear someone explain that with like good things. Like
Yeah.
it's never like why do you like black women? It's like because they're pillars of the community, strong,
Mhm.
independent people. It's always like why do you like Japanese women, Rivers? And it's like cuz they're quiet and won't talk back to me.
Because I'm in charge when
Yeah.
they're around. Yeah. Yeah. My ex-girlfriend was Indian, and she often talked about how, like, while she was dating before me, it was like, she would run into dudes. He's like, I've never fucked an Indian girl before. And I was like, oh my God. Like some sort of weird punch card that they got going on.
There's so many guys who were like that.
Yeah. That's
They're like, I've slept with a Chinese broad. It's like,
God.
great for you.
Yeah, what do you want?
What do you win?
Yeah, like a sticker? Most racist weirdo.
I know, right?
But yeah, man, that song is crazy.
That song is
it rips, like, because it's
fun,
catchy.
But yeah, it's catchy. But like, you listen to the lyrics and you're like, ee.
But also, like, I'm confused about the narrative of the song because he's like clearly being very controlling, right?
Yeah.
And then, but he's like, and if you see her, tell her it's over.
Yeah.
Like what?
I think he's dumping her.
Yeah.
Which is why.
Oh, because he wants. Okay, so he's dumping his current girlfriend.
Yeah, because he wants
someone
somebody who he can control.
It's like, if you see my independent,
normal
normal woman, tell her I don't want her anymore.
Yeah.
Damn it, Rivers. God, you're so weird. Why can't I quit you? Oh, man. All right, so on to the next section, which is our record scratch section.
Record scratch.
This is where I come up with funny questions. Recently, I've had fun making mini games out of this. So we will start with like a silly question, then I'll probably move into the mini game. All right. I'll start with this question. Who were bigger virgins in high school? Weezer or the Smashing Pumpkins?
Oh my God. Billy Corgan.
Right.
Oh, fuck, I love them both.
I know. Right. I know. They're great. But also,
I'd say probably Rivers.
yeah, I'd have to. I was gonna go with Rivers
over
too,
Billy Corgan. Yeah,
because like the goth kids are always randomly really sexual.
Yeah. They'll just be like, "Do you want to fuck in a graveyard?"
They're like, yeah, man, it's all futile. Let's do
Yeah.
it. There's beauty in my sadness. He's like, shh, I know.
Yeah.
Next one. Do you think they named themselves Weezer because every single one of them actively needs a rescue inhaler? For their
Yeah, they're all nerds.
Yeah, they're all nerds. And
They can't play sports. The lawn just got mowed. I can't go outside.
I'm having an asthma attack.
I need to see the nurse.
We're just describing me,
Yeah.
which is tough. When I was in elementary school, all of that.
Yeah,
They just mowed the lawn. I can't run the mile.
yeah.
But I was also conveniently fat.
Yeah.
Which was it? Was he asthmatic or fat?
I'm both.
Yeah. All right. Final portion of the record scratch is the mini game. The name of the mini game is Power Ranking Weezer.
Ooh.
We will be power ranking the members of Weezer based on the album art alone, and we are gonna so if you can remember the album art,
Yeah,
all the
it
awkward
goes-
poses. Yep.
I think the drummer.
Yep.
Rivers.
Yep. Bassist Matt Sharp.
Matt Sharp. Yeah. And then
And
the
Brian
the replaced guitarist Brian Bell.
Yep.
Okay.
So based on that, we're gonna rank the members by number 1, how into trains they probably are.
All right.
I think so the least into trains, probably Brian Bell.
Yeah.
He was the best looking of them. He was the most charming, I would say.
Yeah.
He had no need to impress the
He
ladies
just
with
he
the
just
trains.
showed up. They grabbed him and they were like, "Hey, we need you to play on this album too."
And he's like,
I was
cool.
like, all right, yeah. He was probably banging chicks and
Yeah.
listening to Cinderella when that came out. Listening to Wasp.
Yep. All right, who's next? Who?
No, I think from least to most or
yeah,
most to least?
we'll go least to most.
Okay. Dude, I hate to say this. I think it's a straight shot from right to left.
Oh, okay. Just
Ben Shepherd,
Matt Sharp.
Matt Sharp, excuse me. Matt Sharp, the bassist. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Didn't do my research on him.
Well, he's no longer with us. That's what I know
Yeah.
about Matt Sharp. And that's also a lot of people say that the band got worse after he died.
Oh, okay. When did he die?
I think after the Green album.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, he's like the next least probably.
Yep.
Then I think River. I think it's like tie a little tied at 3 or 4, but then Rivers makes it jump.
Yeah.
It goes
Rivers
up.
it jumps, but like I agree that Pat, the drummer,
Yeah, looks
big
like
train guy.
huge
train
models and everything.
Yeah, I think that guy would wear the headphones.
I think you would wear the old timey high conductor hat. Like,
yeah, dude. He's got the whistle, like the whoo.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna power rank Weezer some more. Are you ready?
All right, yeah, let's do it.
All right, next one. Rank them by how often they break eye contact.
I know what you're saying, and I'm Rivers with the least. Or okay, we're going
Yeah.
from the least again. Yeah, it's gonna be the same every
The
time.
same order.
It's just-
Brian Bell seems like totally normal
Brian
guy.
Bell is just the weirdest most giant drummer on there. I also don't think it helps that he's bald on the album cover.
Oh, Pat the drummer.
Yeah.
Pat's tough.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
just tough. He's breaking eye contact. He's into
Yeah.
trains.
But I think Rivers might just be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think he would break eye contact the most, just because he would just be like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah, just because Rivers doesn't like being perceived.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's less about being uncomfortable, more just being like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Please stop. Yeah, it's probably the same ranking as before.
Yeah. Is that it, or we got another
We got
one?
one more.
All right.
Number 3 is we're going to power rank Weezer by how scared of women they are.
Let's see. The guitarist, yeah, once again, he's
Brian Bell's just hanging out.
He's
Yeah,
just hanging out. He's just here to make a hit record.
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah. How did the bassist die?
I'm unsure.
Okay.
I'm sure my friend Max Warner, I'm sure will watch this episode and be like, "Why the fuck don't you know this?"
No.
He knows about Matt Sharp, but
I'm betting it's probably drugs.
yeah,
It usually is if it
you're
was
in a rock band.
that young.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say he's probably the least. He's probably cool.
Yeah.
He was so cool he did drugs.
Yeah. Unlike the rest of the band.
Yeah. Then Pat probably.
You think Rivers is the most scared of women?
I think he is, because that's why
He's
he dates
so scared of
Japanese
them
women.
he hates them.
Yeah, that's why he only dates Japanese women, so he can't even understand them.
He's like, God, I hate you, but he's like, I'm biologically wired to like you.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean I have to listen to your bullshit. And she's just she can't even speak English.
I tried to date that lesbian that one time too.
I thought you were gonna be a lesbian, but you turned out to be straight
You
too.
turned to be straight, and now I hate you again. I don't know why. It's something I should probably unpack in therapy, but I won't.
Yeah. I think Rivers is the most scared of women. That's why he dates women who.
That's why he started Weezer.
Yeah.
All right, that does it.
Hell yeah.
We did it. We talked about the Blue Album. Final thoughts. Rating out of 10. Final thoughts on the album.
I mean, probably 10 out of 10. I don't think
10 out of 10.
I don't think there's a song on there that I hate or can't listen to.
It is a no skips.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
Even with bands I love, I'm like, all right, this one's not it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for them. That
Yeah,
rules.
dude. It's a powerful first album, which is
Probably part of the problem.
Do you think that's a curse or a benefit to have like your best album be your first one?
I think it's a bit of a curse.
Yeah.
It depends on how you handle it though, because like I know the sophomore slump is huge for a lot of bands. Like their second album, they're like, oh shit, our first one, and like, oh no, now what do we do? Because like that old saying, like you have your entire life to write your first album, but you only have like a year to write your second.
Yeah.
And a lot of the pressure sometimes makes diamonds. Like Pinkerton's, honestly, like it's a fine second record.
Yeah.
I think they followed up well.
Yeah,
because
I think
they
so
pushed
too.
themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say mostly it's a curse to have a really good first record.
know,
It
right?
must be wreak havoc on your mental health.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to have a horrific first record, but you can always get better.
You can always if your first record doesn't sell, I mean, you might not get another chance to the same record label, but you at least gain some knowledge of what not to do.
Right. Like I would want, if it were me, I'd want to recoup my losses from the record label, so they'd let me do another.
That's the best case scenario. Is just like having like a mediocre, okay first response, and then it builds.
Yeah.
But this was like bam.
Yeah. Boom.
Out of the get go.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I've been just hanging out in mediocrity this whole time.
You and me both.
Yeah, I've been hanging out in mediocrity this whole time. That way I don't have to deal with the pressures. I'm smart.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the market accepting me.
The market. It's just your camera.
Yeah, it's my phone. Spoiler alert, this is filmed on an iPhone.
Hell yeah.
Apple sponsor me.
Hell yeah. iPhone 15, got that titanium.
No, this is a 14. 'Cause I
man,
liked
you
the color
poor
purple too
fuck.
much. It's the color on the Apple website of this phone is called Deep Purple. So I named my phone Highway Star.
Not smoke on the water.
No, I wanted to come up with a better one.
Yeah.
I prefer Highway.
I just
Star.
found out that term, and this is we're done anyway. I just found out that the song "Smoke on the Water" is based on that Zappa incident where he was in this brand newly built casino resort or something in I think it was Italy somewhere, and Zappa had this concert and it burned down.
Oh shit!
Because of like pyrotechnics or something, and And so Deep Purple wrote that song "Smoke on the Water" about that, about Zappa killing people.
Yo.
Yeah, that's pretty metal.
That's hardcore. And to think it's everyone's first song they ever learned.
Everyone's first song is just like 300 people died. Bam, 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 bam.
It's all Zappa's fault. All right, man. Do you have anything going on you want to plug?
Let's see. When will this come out? Do you know?
This will be out in 2 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be at Chameleon open mic like I am every Thursday in Northside at Chameleon.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Best mic in Cincinnati, and I even run one.
That's very polite of you. I'll be at the another Chameleon show on the 20th. I got some other dates locked down, but they're too far spread out. I need to hustle more.
Fair enough. Sounds good, man. Well, thanks so much for coming out.
Hey, thank you, David. This has been a great time.
Yeah, thanks, man. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Welcome to the club.
Hell yeah.
And like, comment, subscribe, do all that shit. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.